new one. Okay, so I was saying something, right? I was saying something. When we go to 4 hour, sorry, when you go to 4 hour time frame, when you go to 4 hour time frame, we can't actually tell the details of what's happening here, right? We can't tell the details. You can hear me clearly now, right? I was mute then. So we can't tell the details of what is actually happening, right? All you know here is that here is a fair value gap region, and here is the low, and here is the high. Most of you may not even consider this low and high. This low here, right? And this high. Right? Most of you may not even consider this low and high, but then you actually need to consider them. Apart from this low and high and this fair value gap, there is nothing else you are seeing in this markup here, right? But then when you go to 3 hours time frame, if you go to 3 hours, at least you can see another thing here. You can see something. You'll be able to see an additional order block, right? You'll be able to see an order block, right? Apart from order block, I don't think you can see anything else here, right? Then let's go to 2 hour time frame. 2 hour time frame, right? Now you could see another order block here, a buy order block, the one that price mitigated, the one that mitigated this fair value gap here, right? Which is this other block. I hope you know this is another block, right? But now this other block, you can't see it clearly. You can't tell whether price is going to hold or not, right? But then when you scroll lower, like I said, make use of multi-time frame analysis, right? Apply multi-time frame analysis. Most times when you go to daily time frame, the structure you're looking for, you can't see the structure, right? But then you scroll below or higher, maybe to weekly. If you can't see the structure, you can go to monthly or any time frame at all. Same thing, if you go to daily, you can't see what you like. You can go to 4 hours. If you're using premium trading view, it has 8 hours, it has 12 hours, it has some other time frame that free trading view doesn't, right? So you could be able to use multi-time frame analysis to make deal analysis on your charts, right? So now in 2 hours, you can't see the other block very well because you can't just say this is the other block. This can be a mitigated week already. You can't tell from this week, right? But then when you go to 1 hour time frame, when you scroll lower, go to 1 hour time frame, then you can see this other block clearly. You can see the other block clearly. There is an unmitigated other block below, just below, right? Now, to those of you that understand what candlesticks are, what candlestick is this? This other block here that I picked. What candlestick is that? What candlestick is this here? Yeah, that is a pin bar. So, and that is what you are going to be using to buy the market to the upside. Now, just using the pin bar is not enough. Remember, when I made this analysis, price was around here. Price was around this region, somewhere around here, right? So, this is a pin bar candlestick, and this is the unmitigated candle, right? That you're going to use to buy. And we have liquidity here. We have liquidity lying here. Let me make use of magnets to spot our liquidity level, right? So we have liquidity lying here. So this liquidity lying here should tell you that price will come and clear the liquidity, right? And then price will mitigate this other block here, right? And that isn't actually enough. We also have a BOS here, right? The first minor BOS, I didn't consider this one, and the second one here, I prefer the second one, right? So let me remove everything here. Let me try to remove all these things so the chart could be neat. Let me remove all of these markings here so you can have a clearer view of the market. So yeah, I should remove that. Alright, so you've seen the structures clearly. You've seen the structures on how I got that entry, right? And I targeted, I looked for, I went to a higher time frame. I went to daily time frame to look for a take profit target, right? And I stretched it out to $26,000. Whether price hits that $26,000 or not, I knew that okay, I can actually reduce my TP. I just felt like dragging it out to that extent. I can actually reduce it to the closest. Like you can choose to use 1:5 straight, 1:5. This is 1:3. Can you choose to use 1:5? Right? I don't. We are not fully bearish though. Unless I don't know if price is going to retest around there, but then let's see. But you could see the trade setup of that BTC trade I dropped there, and everything is clear now. So now you trying to sell from me. I knew that sir, I saw a setup on I saw some person status and many placed their shorts here. Now why are you going to be selling when if I drag this thing like this, all what you're saying are weeks, weeks, weeks. You're already expecting price to clear both you and your entry. Even if price doesn't hold for long, at least price will clear all those weeks before dropping, right? So there was actually no reason to open a short position from this point here because it was obvious that price is going to clear there. There was liquidity at the top, just like how price cleared this liquidity at the bottom, right? We have that kind of liquidity at the top too, and price will come and clear it, right? Let me use a cell model to explain this thing for you, right? Whereas this is an inducement, right? And this is liquidity. Try to differentiate between this liquidity and this an inducement, right? Now, if you are taking a trade from this point, you'll be taken out, right? You'll be taken out because you are a early seller, right? You're trying to sell so early. So price will take you out, and then the people selling lately will happen to play the setup better than you, right? And this liquidity zone at this point, this liquidity region at this point, some persons may use it as their take profit, right? But then you can drag it much lower as you want. Well, seems like we're gonna sell because yeah. So you could see the setup clearly. You could see the setup clearly. When I switch it to a sell, you could see clearly. Price was coming from an FVG, mitigated the FVG, created an inducement. So you're gonna sell with this other block here, right? There are some points that when you want to analyze the charts and you don't like how the chart is, go to this setting here, this setting mark, change it to invert scale, turn it to the other side, right? Some persons don't know how to. Okay, before I continue, let me say this thing. When I started analyzing at first, I hate shorts. I don't know how to short a trade, right? But I'm very, very good at longing. I know how to long. Some persons have this problem, right? So until someone told me, since I don't know how to short the trade and I know how to long, whenever I see a short trade and I don't know what to do, I should switch it to invert scale so that it will look like a long for me. So I'll be able to analyze it well. Because I don't know how to analyze something like this. I wasn't able to analyze something that is selling. So, and that was actually what was helping me then to build how I see short positions, how I see short setups, right? So you can do the same. If you have problems with short trades, you can use these invert skills to help you master focus for the time being, right? Yeah. So I've been able to just explain the recent past, was it past 7 days? Let me see. From November from November 8th, right, till the current market movement. Yeah, so you've seen clearly all I did there. Not too much work, right? But then I didn't explain the structures inside of them because there are several entries here. Like I mean, there are several scalp entries in all of these things, but we are not looking at scalps, so I don't want to go into them. All right, so let me show you something on Earth. So I'm not looking at scalp rates. You can apply what you see in string. Oh, late comers, don't worry, you have recorded sections. And if you do come late again, Okay, let me go to eight, right? Eight. Is that eight? Okay. Hope you saw the thing I did in BTC clearly. Bitcoin. It wasn't like I'm solving some maths on the chart. So if you see everything I've done, this is just me trying to backtest the charts, what I know, how they've been playing out. Okay, I didn't make clear view on backtesting. Don't worry, I'm gonna drop a video, not for you guys, right? But for everyone. I mean, all the people that have participated in anything crypto digest. In fact, all the people that know me, yeah. So I'm going to drop a video concerning how to backtest without premium trading view. Like you've seen what I did here, I didn't use premium trading view to scroll back on the chart before I start marking, stuff like that. So I'm speaking so fast, I can tell. Okay, the beginning part, they are all recorded. Yeah, so you get to see them. Let me go to F. This thing should escape. Okay, since Ahis isn't here, Grace Man, when you go to the group, right? Someone dropped a setup on change of character, right? So review those setups, those assignments to see if the person is correct. The assignment on change of character, yeah, review the assignments and correct the person. All right, so let's look out for this earth. So this earth, right? I dropped a setup there. Let me start from 4 hour time frame. Oh my gosh, 4 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame. Right? Be able to spot your high and your low, right? In this place now, in this scenario now, right? To this moment, I don't know. To this moment, right? These are my highs. This is my high, right? This is my high here. This is my high here, right? And this is my low. And this is my low. Right? Same thing I did on BTC. You know that, right? This is my high and this is my low. Using the higher time frame highs and lows, right? So and we are already on a full trend here. We are on a full uptrend. You don't need to be told about that, right? We're in a full uptrend here. We're in a full uptrend here. This one is a full candlestick. The price mitigated, then bought to the upside. This is just trading continuations. Price mitigated, bought to the um price mitigated and FVG. Then from the FVG, price start on the movements like that, but I'm not concerned about those movements, right? I'm looking at this one's here, right? The ones inside this range, that is what I'm going to be focused at, right? So here now you can't see anything clear. You can't see anything clear, right? But when I go to 3 hour time frame, you can see things, but they won't be that clear to you. When I go to 3 hours time frame, you can't see them really clear enough, right? 2 hour time frame, 2 hour time frame, they are getting interesting. Then 1 hour time frame. Now, here is actually a valid demand zone, to sell, to buy. Sorry, this demand zone here, it's a valid demand zone to buy the market to the upside. Yeah, and but then we had something like sorry, we have something like, am I recording? Yeah, I'm recording. We have something like liquidity all around, right? Liquidity all around everywhere, like everywhere was covered with weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. right? So let me do something. Let me show you something. This same thing that I did on Earth, right? This is your low. This will be the low you'll be focusing at, right? Looking back at what BTC did when price raided this low, right? What the price did, price bought to the upside. And when price took out this high, I said something about pattern recognition, right? When price took out this low at this point, right? At this point, it's bought to the upside, right? And when price took out this high here, right? When price took out this high here, am I marking that high well? When price took out this high here, which is at this point, right? Price took out the high here at this point, which is the thing you're seeing here, right? So we started selling. So same thing, same scenario applies. Let me go back to BTC. Let me go back to BTC. If your eye can't actually grasp some set of a long period, if your eye can't actually grasp some price movements, you can look at what BTC did here, right? 4 hour. Let me use 4 hour. So my gosh, is that poor network? My bad. 4 hour time frame, right? When you look at the 4 hour here, when you look at the 4 hour, you see that when price grab this low, what did we do? We broke structure and started buying to the upside. And when price grabbed this high here, right? When price grabbed this high here, when price grabbed this high at this point, right? This high, this high that you're seeing here, when price grabbed this high at this point, what happened? We started selling to the downside, right? Same scenario applies to what we are saying in X, right? Same scenario applies to the thing you are just saying in X. Yeah? So it's all about you being able to recognize patterns, right? And trade them, because for you to recognize them, you must have known what's gonna happen. Wow, X has a nice structure. One of the best pairs I've ever traded, Ethereum. Right, so same scenario with it. We had price took out this low, right? This old low, and we bought to the upside, and then we took out this high and we reversed, right? When we deal with liquidity, you understand better. Then I'll start using the right words for you. I don't start using those words, so you may start getting confused at an early stage. So when we reach liquidity, you understand, right? So so what did we do here? What did we do here? Although I didn't wait for confirmation before entering because I knew that it's going to buy, right? In my own trade, I entered from here. I entered from here. Right after that thing was coming, I entered from here, right? I entered from this point and this point. This was where I entered from. So it's actually risky for you. I entered from here, right? And I stretched my TP to weekly time frame high. Right. So I entered from here. But then the best way to enter, that is for you, you want to use confirmation. You don't want to enter all these risk entries, right? You wait for a BOS. After price has cleared this liquidity, look at we created a BOS and then price came back and we had a BOS and an SMS. We didn't have a change of character. We had a BOS and an SMS. You know what an SMS is? A shift of market structure, right? We had a BOS and an SMS, and price came back to mitigate this demand zone here. Price mitigated that demand zone here, right? And we bought to the upside. Price mitigated that demand zone at that point, and we bought to the upside, right? So we bought to the upside. And actually, this should be your TP because you'll be expecting price to take out that high, right? We bought to the upside. And if it's for cell, you can see the cell structures too, right? So let me move this thing. Seems like it's making it very big. So these are just the little structures I'm showing, and this is the liquidity. You mark here as your liquidity because you know that they are for liquidity. Then you're waiting for price to clear all of these lows, right? And then take out that high. So it's just as simple as that. Yeah, it's actually simple. So that is how it is. So I think I'm done with trying to let you guys see things on bits. I remember I didn't go for that. I don't want to start looking at things like this because the time will be too short. Like very nice trade. Don't worry, on our next backtesting section, I'll look into all these old structures because their price actions are very, very nice. Yeah, even more nicer than this one. So you could see the formation here. And after we hit TP and took out this high, we started reversing. Let me see what's okay. One of the best time frame you can actually use. I mean, the best time frame, 15 minutes time frame. It's a very nice time frame. Yeah, 15 minutes time frame. Anyway, where did I clear it from? 15 minutes time frame is a nice time frame. A very nice one. Um, 4 hour time frame. Just use all the time frame. Yeah, but need the 15 minutes time frame is a very sweet time frame to use for your markups. It balances both scalp and swing. Yeah. And in some cases, like I say, okay, look at all the things I've just done here now. If I'm you can't see anything clearly here, all the structures now you can't see anything clearly here, right? But when you go to 30, you can't see them. You're not that clear, right? But when I go to 15 minutes, like 15 minutes time frame tells you a lot. Apart from the current structure, right? When you want to do some scalps or things like that, you can actually consider going to 15 minutes time frame to see how things react, right? It's one of the best time frame you can use. So we have something like start asking your questions. Yeah, if you have questions, you can be dropping your questions. So when I'm through with this point structure, I will just go straight to your question. So price swept liquidity here to sell and also swept liquidity for the second time at this point, right? For the second time at this point. This is like a change of character, right? For the second, this is a low. Hope you know that. That is a low. Sorry, 5 minutes. That is a low. You can see the low very well in time frames like this. So from this structure now, you don't know your price is going to you can't tell your entry actually, right? If you use the whole of this thing, price even go from a breaker block. But then just use all because breaker blocks are risky. Set your SL there. But then using this one alone, it's not enough, right? It's not actually enough. You need a confirmation. You need a confirmation to trade this structure very, very well. And if you're looking for that confirmation, your TP will be here in the next low. Like I said, target the closest low, right? The closest low, the closest high. So if I'm using the closest low, the closest high, you see that there was a confirmation entry at this point. We swept liquidity once more. We swept liquidity from this side. We swept liquid. Let me use this liquidity sign. Liquidity sweep new. We swept liquidity from that high, from that high, and then we had a break of market structure here. We had a BOS here, right? I don't know if I should be marking that for you. We have a BOS there, right? And we have an SMS by the top. We have just 10 minutes left for this section to end. 9 minutes, sorry. And the last one be sorry, just hold your questions. Ask in the next Zoom sessions I'll be holding, because I don't think I'll use 10 minutes to answer those questions you guys dropped. So this is an SMS here. You know what an SMS is? Shift of market structure. It signifies reversals too. Like I said, an SMS. Where is the SMS? Oh my gosh. Okay, so there is an SMS at that point, right? A shift the market structure, SMS. Yup. Okay, so that is an SMS, and this is the other block we'll be looking to sell from, right? The other block we'll be looking to sell from this other block here, right? So this is you using confirmation entry, right? So you could see everything clearly, and your TP will be this low here. The same thing applies here. Now, when price took out this low, right, we bought to the upside, right? When price took out this high, we sold to the downside. When price took out this low, we bought to the upside, right? So you see these same patterns repeating over and over again. So this will be where you'll be ending your business with the scalp at this low, because you're in a downtrend. From scalping, we're in a downtrend, right? And this downtrend now, you set your TP at the nearest low, expecting price to break that low, right? You can choose to set your SL way high, or you reduce it to the length of that other block, right? And you set your TP at this point. Um at this point, so and you get your preferred so did you understand what I just did? And these are just bunch of liquidity here for you, like lots of liquidity here. All these things are liquidity, just like a bearish flag. So all of these things are liquidity pool for price to take liquidity from, right? They are all liquidity here. So did you understand what I just did here? Where are they? Did you understand what I've just done? All right, so there are some basic students, like people who have just started out, and this will be their first session. Recall this section you, but then you are attending this session, it's not a waste, because the things you are hearing today would be of a very big benefit to you later on. Yeah, so you just have to look through them. And I had a new student today. Okay, I'll be sending you a voice note after now. Yeah. So this session is ending in 6 minutes. If you don't understand, I'm lost, but I need to see the previous videos. No, Raymond, he just joined today. So you're not going to start from here. We're going to start with basics, right? Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna send you a VN on WhatsApp. All right, after this section ends. Yeah. So don't start from advanced. You're gonna start with basics. Let me end this section. Prince Mars, you do not understand. Wow. The two people that said they didn't understand, text on the WhatsApp group. Let me see the two. Yeah. Okay, you joined late. Yeah, it's nice that you don't understand since you joined late. So that I should be telling you congratulations. So why did I am not the one that used SMS. I used just what the chat showed me. Yeah. Not like I feel like I like SMS or things like that. But it was clear that okay, this is what is on the chart, and this is the only confirmation left. because we've already had a bearish structure. We've already had a bearish structure. And the next thing was to break out of that structure and then sell. So it's what the chart displayed. And remember, I said you can use SMS as your this thing. You can use SMS, right? And you can choose to use change of character. So any of them may work for you, right? Any of them may work for you. Some persons may prefer using SMS and I've said this over and over again. You can use SMS and then sell, or you can use change of character to trade reversals, right? This is a change of character here. You can choose to use change of character here, so stuff like that. Yeah, it's mitigated the higher time frame will be. Yeah, so let me just end this section and host the last session for AMA. AMA, so where I'll be answering your questions. Let me see what happens here. All right, so I'll be ending this section. Okay, price you buy. Yeah, I'm seeing a little buy. I missed this entry. I think, yeah, I just say a sell here. So I don't know if that will be a weak buy, but then we're gonna buy it the outside. So I'm going to end this thing and don't go and open any position. Yeah, but I know that is gonna buy. And